Welcome to AEHelp.com's IELTS test preparation videos. So, you took the IELTS exam, but you're not happy with your marks. Maybe they're not good enough for your application. And you're thinking to get a Remark, also called an EOR, or Inquiry on Results. Should you do it? Maybe not. And I'm going to explain why. Again, we have partnered with Skillshare, a world-class platform that lets you choose from hundreds of different skills, all taught by professionals to help you improve your English and your creativity for your next IELTS exam. I have been studying a course called Productivity with Purpose to increase the amount of materials and the quality of materials that I bring to you each week. Maybe you've noticed that on our channel. You might be interested in a course called How to Succeed in Learning Another Language. Skillshare has been generous enough to give us this discount code for the first 1,000 people to sign up via my link. Also in the video description, you will get 1 month free of Skillshare Premium. Begin learning for success. Use Skillshare. Now watch and learn. So an EOR, or Inquiry on Results, is an option that's available to you after you have received your official IELTS band score. You have about 3 weeks after you've sat the IELTS exam to contest any or all of your band scores. This means that you can actually contest the score for individual sections like the listening, reading, writing, or speaking, or you can contest all of the scores together. That will not change the cost of the EOR. Now, keep in mind that EORs are expensive. They cost anywhere from $100 to $140 US, depending on where you are. And you can do it multiple times. So if your score does not change with your EOR, you can actually contest even further. But it will get even more expensive. So should you be doing this? Should you be contesting any of the sections or the entire exam? Or should you start just thinking about practicing, improving, and sitting the IELTS exam again? Well, I'm here to explain this to you and give you clarity on when it might be a good idea to ask for an EOR and the more frequent situation when it's just simply a bad idea. Let me explain this to you further. The listening and reading section questions are standardized. The examiners are using a standard answer key to mark these to come up with the band score. Multiple choice, true, false, not given, clearly are not going to change if you ask for an EOR. There is a very small chance that during the marking process, the examiner might have made a mistake. But this is very unlikely. The examiners and markers are highly trained individuals, and they have a very specific answer sheet and marking rubric. So, listening and reading, the score that you get is pretty much what you're going to get in the end. I've never heard of a candidate having the listening or reading section marks changed after an EOR. So I definitely recommend do not use or do not ask for an EOR on the listening and reading sections. If you need to get higher scores in these sections, simply think about doing the exam again. Now, the writing and the speaking section, those are a bit more subjective, meaning they are more up to the opinion of the marker. This means that in some rare cases, the marks might change if you ask for an EOR on your speaking and your writing scores. However, statistically speaking, from my experience dealing with hundreds of candidates, there's only about a 5%, maybe 5 to 10% chance that the marks are going to change for your writing or speaking section. Again, the examiners are highly trained, they use a very standard set of rules, and even if it's a different examiner marking that speaking or writing, it will likely be the same as the other. Now, to be fair, here, it's almost impossible for the examiners not to think, well, what did the other examiner probably give this student, and why did they give it? So, only ask for this EOR on the writing and speaking section if you have a very unique circumstance. And I'm going to explain when you should consider getting an EOR. The only case where you should get an EOR, and perhaps I might even say that you must get an EOR, is when you are out of time for application. Sometimes candidates leave their IELTS exams until the last minute for various reasons. It could be that they didn't realize they needed the IELTS until the last minute, or they procrastinated. So definitely plan to do your IELTS exam well before your application deadlines so that if you don't get the marks that you need, you can actually resit the exam. But if you're out of time, and if your mark for the speaking and writing sections are below your required scores, then it might be a good time to ask for an EOR. Now, only do this if you've missed the required band score by half a band. It is very, very rare that the speaking or the writing section score will move up or down more than half a band score. I've only heard it once in my entire 20 years of teaching IELTS where a student's band score moved an entire one band. So think about that. What are the chances? Very little. However, if you need half a band in either the speaking or the writing, now is the time to ask for that EOR if you no longer have the availability to sit the exam again before your application deadline. Let me tell you a couple other reasons why you should really be thinking about not getting a remark. As you may have caught me saying just now, your remark or your EOR could result in your scores moving up or down. So if your score is good enough for your application, but simply you're just not happy enough because you think you should have gotten a higher score, definitely do not get a remark. Because some students have been surprised to find that after an EOR, their actual mark did not go up a half band, but went down a half band. And this could even bring down your overall band score. That would just be horrible, and it would be very discouraging. So don't get a remark unless you absolutely have to. It's kind of a waste of money. If your mark changes in that rare situation, they will refund the cost of the EOR. But if your mark does not change, then they keep the payment. Think about that. Again, it might not be a good idea. Recently, I sat the IELTS exam, the official IELTS exam. I got band 9 on my listening, reading, and speaking, but I got a band 7.5 on my writing. I was pretty disappointed, and I was quite sure I should have gotten at least a band 8. When I asked for an EOR, guess what happened? My mark didn't change. So that's some food for thought, and the proof is in the pudding. Learn those idioms and keep them in mind when you're thinking about an EOR. Instead, think about correcting your mistakes, improving your English and your communication to increase those band scores the second time you sit your IELTS exam. Save the money for your next IELTS registration. And good luck the next time you sit your IELTS exam. For over 100 video lessons in HD covering all sections of your next IELTS exam, so you don't have to worry about getting a remark, including original practice tests and a fully interactive course for your mobile and PC with strategies and skills. Visit and join our premium package at aehelp.com. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. Begin learning for success today. Subscribe to our channel. Click over here. Watch another video. Click right up here. And click our IELTS Hero to join our premium package and get access to all of our videos, practice exams, and a fully interactive course.